Hey guys, Holly here from Artistic Cutworks and Artistic Threadworks. Today, first of all, it's a beautiful day here in the Panhandle of Florida. It's raining, but we need the rain, so that makes it a beautiful day. So you may hear the rain on my aluminum ceiling over in the other half of my room. So if you do, I apologize. Just kind of go with it and enjoy the ambiance. If it gets really loud, I can't even be in here, so that's different. Okay, what we're going to do today is I'm going to give you my first impression of the Cricut Maker machine, which is right here. As most of y'all know, I unpacked it last week as soon as it came and talked to y'all about it and everything, but I'm not sure that video made it. I think the iPad quit. So if you were live, you saw it, and if you were Memorex, you didn't. Those of you that are my age will know what that means. So I'm gonna give you my first impression here of the Cricut Maker. Years ago, many years ago, more than I would like to admit, I had a Cricut, one of the original Cricuts, and as hard as I tried to cut fabric with it to do applique, and I couldn't get it to do it. My friend and I, Beth, down in southern Florida, Beth Schmidt and I spent a couple of days just trying to get it to cut a circle of fabric so that we could use it for to make quilt blocks and things like that in applique. We could not get it to work no matter what we backed the fabric with. So I quickly gave up and said, this is not for me. So about 5 years ago, I was traveling with Missy Billingsley from Baby Lock, one of my closest friends, and Dawn Winter from Crystal Eye Candy happened to be there, and I want to say possibly Gail from Gail's Nest was there, Gail Pearl. And we were at this event. It was the Applique Everything event, and Missy was teaching, and I was hanging out doing the event. And we came upon the silhouette cameos. And Missy and Dawn were talking, yeah, you know, I have one, or I don't have one, or, you know, I want to get one. I'm like, why do I need this? And they sold me basically on the silhouette cameo, and I bought one. And I just fell in love. From the moment I got it, I fell in love. Made some improvements in terms of blades and things like that. They've done some really nice things with the machine. And I've just been a cameo girl for 5 years. That being said, that doesn't mean I think it's the bag of chips and all that of the cutting industry. I think it's good. I think it does a great job. But what you'll learn about me very quickly, if you haven't already from my embroidery days, is that if I like a product, I'm going to tell you I like it. If I don't like a product, I'm going to tell you I don't like it, because nobody but me signs my paycheck. So it doesn't matter to me if I like something or I don't like it. What matters to me is if I like it, I'm going to recommend it. If I don't like it, I'll tell you why I don't like it, and you can make up your own mind. You're big kids. So I unpacked the Cricut Maker, and I got the Cricut Maker instead of the Air Explorer 2 because everything I read and all the research said that it would do more. It would do everything that the Cricut Explorer Air 2 would do and more. Now you all know how I like that word more. It'll do everything and more, whatever more is. So I got that because I like to have the best equipment. I don't like to rebuy things because I didn't buy the best. So I bought their top of the line, opened it up and unpacked it. And I have to tell you that my initial experience with it was, on a scale of 1 to 10, was a 10. It really was. I was apprehensive, I was anxious, I didn't want to have to say anything bad, because I just don't like to do that. But my initial experience was really a positive one. From taking it out of the machine, to hooking it up to the Bluetooth, to getting the design space, I get the name wrong, getting the design space running, getting something to the machine, it was like slicing butter, like a hot knife through butter. It was just easy, very easy. So that's a plus. That's a big thing. And I will be comparing. I just got a Brother Scan and Cut. I got that yesterday, and I will be comparing all of those things to the Brother Scan and Cut. And I will be comparing all of those things to the Cameo 4. I've already set up the Cameo 4, and you're going to hear about that later. Today's Cricut Day. So, my first cut, I put a design on the page. I brought an SVG in, one of my own designs, because I thought, well, if I cut one of their designs, then you know, of course it's going to work, because of course it's going to work. So I said, I'm going to bring one of my own in and see just what happens. So that peanut jar luminary we did with the pumpkin face, I brought that in. And I thought, well, okay, let's just bring it in. And I saw it on Design Center. I'm like, all right, this is cool. I put it up into the corner and said, hey, let's do this. So I said, make it, and I sent it to the machine, and the machine said, what material are you going to use? And I'm like, vinyl. Vinyl. I wasn't particular about the vinyl. I just said vinyl. And it said, okay, put in the fine point blade, which is this one, the little silver one. Now, y'all can't see this, but that blade is barely sticking out. And when I put that in, I just said, this isn't going to work. But I said, I'm just going to trust and do the process, because that's what y'all are going to do. So I put the fine point blade in, loaded up my mat, and I said, go. It came out, and I looked at the vinyl, and I said, that bad boy didn't cut. And I said, all right. So I trimmed around what looked like a cut area, and I weeded out all the extra black, and this is what I got. Well, now y'all are going to say, well, wait a minute, Holly, that design that you did was like 4 inches by 4 inches. Well, this is about 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches. What I didn't know was when SVGs or anything comes into design space, when you bring something in rather than making it right there, it's going to come in small. I don't know why, it just does. So if you have a Cricut and you're getting ready to make your first cut, or you're afraid, just go for it. Go for it. Just remember that you're going to have to resize your image. So click on the image and drag it to the size that you want it and put it up in the upper left-hand corner. You'll be fine. So I learned that, and that's a good thing. Now with so a Cameo, I find that when I bring an SVG in, it comes in the size that I saved it at. So you know, you have to resize there too, but it depends on what size you want your project. So this is the little one that I did, and I was actually a little disappointed, and then I said, well, wait a minute, this is actually a good thing, because these things are small. This little mouth here is small, and this little point is really pointy and really tiny, and it just did a brilliant job. I don't know how well y'all can see that, but it just did a beautiful job. So I was really excited, and I said, okay, that's cool. That was simple. Well, again, if y'all know me, you know that I'm going to push that envelope as far as I can push it, and until, you know, the envelope comes apart. So I said, okay, what happens when I bring in a more detailed design? Let's find out. So I loaded this design, and I made it about 3 inches by 3 inches, about 3 by 3. These are my designs. This was designed to be bigger, like for t-shirts. So I shrunk this bad boy down to 3 by 3 and said, let's see. Loaded the vinyl, sent the design, said make it, chose vinyl. It said put in the fine point blade, which I already had. There's no adjustment of the blade. This is what was thrilling for me. There's no adjustment, no guessing. The machine knows. It's all about pressure, which really seems to make a lot of sense to me. If it doesn't cut well, you can increase the pressure, but I did nothing. These are all defaults, all default cuts. I sent it through, and it came out, and when I weeded it, all of this extra, everything extra, came out in one piece, no pulling, nothing. It was perfect. So now I'm like, oh, okay, I am thrilled. I am so excited. I cannot stand it how excited I am. This is awesome. Okay, so that's vinyl, just plain vinyl. I haven't cut paper yet, but I did do, be right back. I just lied to you, I did cut paper. I made this little bag. I did a template out of templatemaker.nl. I did a template. I brought it into Cameo, made the design because it's not ready to go when you bring it in. I designed the design and cut it using the scoring tool, which is nothing short of amazing. The scoring tool, there are 2 of them. One has just one rounded, it's not sharp, one rounded rotary type scoring tool.
Sideways. There you go.
It looks like the rotary blade, but it is not. And this scores paper for you. Now, I've always had a problem with the Cameo scoring. A lot of times it'll cut through if you don't get your pressure just perfectly right. But this was pure gold, pure gold. And there are two heads for it, a double score that makes the score line a little bigger, and you can actually do other things with that tool that we'll be doing at a later time. So I made this little bag and did all the folds in it and everything else, and it just came out perfect. And you can fold it up for storage. And it was easy, folks. It was easy, easy, easy. The Cricut just performed beautifully. I'm just going to start sticking these in here so I don't lose them. Okay, so last week I was on a mission, and my mission was to cut craft foam because I have an idea for a really cool project that was going to be for Halloween, but I wanted to use craft foam because it's a little more sturdy. And I said, all right, I got to get the cuttings right for the Cameo, and I have to do this. So let's go on a mission and start testing. So this is what I did. Ready? These are all my test pieces. These are all my test pieces. I was very disheartened at the end of this. If you'll notice, I have a blade of 20. This is using the deep cut blade. A blade of 20. Pressure of 4, speed of 1, and 1 pass. It sort of kind of cut it. I used the settings from, can't even find it. I used the settings from Silhouette, and it just, here it is. I used the settings from Silhouette, a 33 pressure with a 20 blade and 2 passes, and I can't even get it out. I have to rip it out. Was not happy. All these are different settings that I just couldn't get it to work. And then I said, okay, all right, maybe I'm expecting too much. This was a whole day. Trying to get one nice piece of craft foam. This one here is not too bad. Not too bad. If you were doing this for a kid's project, it would be perfectly acceptable. But if I'm doing this for a project to promote to you to do, it would be unacceptable to me. It just would be, because I'm a perfectionist, which is not good all the time. Okay, so that was my testing. And that was the Cameo 3. So I said, okay, I'm being too aggressive. I'm trying to get too much out of this machine. I said, how about simple shapes? Well, it cut this perfect. Simple. Cut this perfectly. Well, almost perfect. There's a little spot over here. It cut these, different shapes, different sizes rather, perfectly. So I guess what I'm saying to you is, with the Cameo 3, what I found was, with the deep cut blade, and I also tried the CB09 blade, the special blade that they say you can't use because of warranty. I tried that, and that just dragged across the felt no matter where I put that blade. It just dragged across the felt and made marks on it. So I'm pretty convinced that that's not going to work. My conclusion for the Cameo 3 is that simple, puffy foam shapes, thumbs up. More complicated, smaller things, you're not going to get a great result. If this result is okay for you, if you're happy with this, then I say, have a ball and enjoy, and I'm happy for you. But if you're like me and you want it perfect, that doesn't work for me. So then I said, okay, fine, that's okay. And this, what I was cutting was foamies. These are called foamies. And I think this is from like Michael's or Joann's or something. And it says 2 millimeters thick. Well, it's not 2 millimeters thick. How do I know that? How do you know that? Because you're bad at math. I know that because Larry got me this really cool tool. This is a caliper. It's a caliper. And he has one that has a little dial on it. And he said it's X number of 16ths of 32nd, 157 thousandths. I'm like, great. Where does that fit into 2 millimeters? Remember my math skills? So he said, I'll get you a digital one. I'll fix this. So this is awesome. This is like nothing less than amazing. So right here I have an on and off button. So I turn it on. zero it. Now I can open this baby up, put this in there, and that tells you the thickness of my craft foam. 1.5 millimeters. This machine, the Cameo 3, should be cutting 1.5 millimeters with no effort at all. I don't know where the one is that is. Mix all these up. I have one, I tried Sulky Puffy Foam, and that, look at how that just was awful. I don't know why. I'm not saying anything bad about Sulky, please understand. I'm just saying it didn't work for me. So now this one, I put in here, and look at that. 2 millimeter puffy foam.
1.8.
So there's a significant difference. You might say, oh, 0.3 millimeters. That's a significant difference when you're talking about a blade that barely sticks out of a cutter. So I love this tool because now I never have to guess. Can my machine cut this? What knife do I use to cut it? Because it's all right here. It's all right here. This runs on a little bitty battery, a little bitty button battery. So of course Larry bought me like a whole mega bunch of them because he knows how I am.
Amazon, $10.
Amazon, $10. Gosh, I wish we got affiliate on Amazon. Amazon, $10. Okay, love this tool. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so then I said, all right, I got the Cricut, and I said, let's do craft foam on the Cricut. And let's not be fussy about settings. Let's use a standard foam, craft foam setting, and let it tell us what to cut it at. Okay? So that's what I did. First I cut the heart. As you see, I cut everything, cut a heart out of everything. First I cut the heart. And if you look really, really close, right at the point here, you can see those little knife things. This was cut with the rotary cutter. But look at how perfect that is. One pass, and it was cut all the way through. I didn't have to punch anything out or push anything out. I adjusted no settings at all. Nothing. So now I'm really excited now because I can do my project but just change it for Christmas. Really excited about this. Okay, and then I said, let's put it to the test. It says in the instructions that for the rotary cutter, for the Cricut, you can't cut anything smaller than 3/4 of an inch or an area that curves more than 3/4 of an inch. So I said, okay, no problem. So I said, let's do craft foam again, and I put my little bat on the screen. Now this is small. It's smaller than the ones I did on the Cameo because I'm testing. So I put it in there and I said, give me craft foam. This time give me the craft blade. Give me the craft knife. So did the craft knife and put it in the machine and just said, go. And this is what I got. I don't know if you can see that. An absolute perfect cut. One time around, fully cut. Nothing that I had to tear out or anything. You can see everything is, it's perfect. I didn't have to do anything to this to make it perfect. Now I'm excited. Now I'm loving the Cricut. Okay. So I've been working on a project that I'll tell you about later with marine vinyl. No, it's not earrings. Everybody's doing earrings. I might do earrings later, but everybody's doing them. So I'm working on a project with marine vinyl. And I said, let's just check this out. Let's just check this out. So I cut this using the rotary blade out of marine vinyl. I believe it was 2 passes using the rotary blade. Awesome. And I said, how about felt? Always had a hard time cutting felt on the Cameo because you had to back it. You had to put a backing on it. No backing. Perfect. No backing. So you can now do your felt projects. Then I said, okay, let's push this. They're bragging that the best thing about this machine is the thick stuff and the hard stuff and the real crafty stuff. So I said, okay, great. I got a 1/16 piece of basswood. Let's cut a heart. Cut the heart. Now it did do 14 passes. I don't care about the 14 passes. This was the craft blade. It did 14 passes. I probably could have stopped at 11 or 12 because it made a mark on my mat. But it is perfect and smooth and nice. And again, these are all default settings. I have changed nothing. Now, you all know that when you cut something and you take it off the mat, sometimes you can fix things if there's a little something. This is what I cut out. It's perfect. I didn't have to fix anything. It is perfect. Except that. It is perfect. So I was very, very excited. Very excited. So what I want to do now is I want to show you why I'm excited about the new craft blades. And I'm going to pull the, I'm going to use a rotary blade to cut some felt. I want you to see how it does it, and I want you to see that it works. So they've got really nice covers on here, and this is the rotary blade. Now there's a rotary blade coming out for the Cameo 4. I've seen pictures of it. I have not seen it. I don't know what it's going to do. If it's going to do anything, I have no clue, none whatsoever. I'm hoping it's awesome. I'm hoping to be very excited by it. The cool thing about this is, you see this gear? This gear, I don't know if you can see here, Larry. This gear right here matches up with this one. Mm-hmm. And when you put the blade in, the teeth of the gear do this. So it turns. The blade turns. The blade turns. Okay? I have my design ready to go. I have the rotary blade set. I don't have to do anything else because there's a default. I chose felt. Plain felt. Let's see if I have a second good experience. Be a little embarrassing if I don't want it. A little embarrassing. But that's okay. I'm good with that. I'm going to put the same piece of fabric. This is the stronghold mat. The purple one is the stronghold mat. The green one is the standard mat. Blue is light hold, and pink is for non-bonded. Oh no, maybe it's for bonded fabric. I'd have to check that. So I'm just going to put this down. It really does stick. Now if it gets unsticky, you're just going to tape it down. You can use a brayer on here to stick it down. Okay, what I don't like about the Cricut, because I've been spewing all kinds of really good stuff about it. What I don't like about Cricut, I don't like how the mat goes in. I consistently have to push the mat back out to put it back in straight. I don't like that. They could do a better job of that. The other thing I don't like is I don't like the software. It's very limited. You cannot export a file. So if I make this heart and I say, oh, Sally, I made this heart, do you want it? I can't export it out. At least this is what I'm told by Cricut. Okay, I'm not excited about that. So I will still be using other software to do my designing, which is okay. That's not a big deal. So they've got these little grooves here for the mat, which at first I thought, hey, that's really cool because now I know I'm getting it exactly where it goes, except it moves back and forth. There's some play in there. So what I found is if I get it in there and I push it against these two wheels and hold it, did you see how it turned? It did a little whoppy jaw thing there. Let's see if I do this. Better. Okay, so if I hold it back here, it's better. Now, I'm going to send it to the machine, and what I want Larry to focus on is the blade's going to go over here, and maybe I'll get some light on here with my cell phone. So y'all can really see. You got enough?
I got a light.
Oh, okay.
A real light.
Okay, Larry's got a real light.
A guy light.
He's got a guy light. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, so you're going to watch over here, because the blade's going to come over here, and I want you to watch the blade. It's going to spin and turn and do all kinds of really cool stuff. And then watch it. He'll bring it back over here, and you'll watch this as it cuts, and you're going to see this. It's going to cut a little bit, lift up, that's going to turn. It's going to cut a little bit, lift up, and that's going to turn. That's what makes this blade so incredible, I think, from a mechanical standpoint. Okay, I'm going to say go. It's preparing. It's detecting the tool. Now watch here. You see that spinning? Is that cool or what? And I can see the blade moving. It takes a little longer to cut. You see? See how it spins? Let's see if we got it in one cut. One cut. One cut, perfect cut. Is that incredible? The craft blade does the same thing. This is the scoring blade, but the craft blade, the knife is out really, really far on this craft blade. That's really far, so you want to be very careful you don't hurt yourself with that. The craft blade and the scoring blades are the same. They're specialty. They go in the right-hand tool carriage. Over here, the pens go. All blades go on this side, the pens go over here. Another thing I don't like is with the Cameo 2 and 3, I believe, maybe just the 3, you could put 2 blades in at a time. You could put a blade and a pen. So you could cut a bookmark out and then sketch on it. You're going to have to do 2 passes, in and out, to do that. I'll give that up for perfect cuts. I don't have a problem with that. There's also a perforator blade, and then these, wrong one. They've really they've done a good job. I don't know how these come off. Oh, here, push this button, and this comes off, and then the double scoring blade goes on. Just push that. It's all magnetic. They've just done a nice job. They've just done a nice job. The other thing, the blades for the cutting blades, you know, on the Cameo you just buy a new blade. I don't know about the Brother yet. I haven't looked at that yet. But this one, you push this plunger and put a little replacement blade in. It's all held in by magnet. So there are a lot of really nice features. There's a pen adapter for pens. Haven't played with that yet. But there are a lot of really, really nice features that I'm very excited about with the Cricut. I was impressed with the scoring. I was impressed with the balsa wood. I'm impressed with the flannel or the felt. I'm impressed with the puffy foam. The vinyl cut well. I haven't cut heat transfer yet, but I'll do that here in the next couple of days. I'm getting a project ready for Dawn, so I'll do that. All in all, I rate this machine very high, very high. If I had to rate it 0 to 10, I would give it a 10, in my opinion. You know, someone else may feel differently about it, but that's okay. For me and my use and what I do, I would rate it very highly. Just the whole ease of everything. I don't like the software. I think they are not thinking forward enough on the software. That's what I think. And I don't like that the mat doesn't go in straight 100% of the time, every time. Other than that, so far, I'm feeling good about the Cricut. And we'll see. We'll see as time goes on. Okay, question for the day. Question for the day. Oh, no, I have something else to tell you. I have 2 other things to tell you. I'm sorry, this is getting long. Number 1 is Thursday's project. We are making ornaments. Christmas ornaments. This is marine vinyl. 2 pieces of marine vinyl with sticky vinyl on top of it. So if you want to catch that video on Thursday, I think I want to say 7 p.m. on Thursday, but I'm not sure. We'll be doing that, and there might be more, and you'll get something free, no doubt. So that'll be Thursdays, Facebook Live. And the other thing is, I'm preparing my studio. In fact, it's ready, with the exception of putting a big light up here. I'm preparing my studio for teaching classes here. And I'm thinking we're going to be teaching Cameo and Cricut and Scan and Cut classes. I'm not afraid to use all of those names because, as I said, nobody signs my paycheck but me. So if you're interested, it would be full day classes or possibly a weekend. And there's a place fairly near a hotel that y'all can stay at. If you're interested, please put that in the comments and let me know, because I'm thinking about doing, after Thanksgiving, doing something like a Christmas project day in my studio. I can take 8 people, so it will be somewhat limited, but if it's popular, we'll just do a lot of them. Okay, so let me know in the comments if you would be interested in that, and I'll see you guys Thursday. Thanks for tuning in. Again, this is Holly from Artistic Cutworks and Artistic Threadworks.